It's December 21st. It's time for another video update of the church remodeling project. Last one was about a month ago. We're starting our tour today outside. I'm outside on the west side of the social hall kitchen. We're looking over right now into the mechanical equipment area that's outside the church and social hall. The two gray machines here are our new chillers for air conditioning the church. These were supposed to be here in June last year. The first one showed up in late July. The second one just showed up about a week and a half ago. So these have not run yet, will not run until next spring. As you recall, we used a temporary chiller to provide cooling to the narthex and social hall during the summer because we could not get these chillers in time to provide that service. So we're walking over now past the equipment area into the construction site. I'm on the south side of the church here now. You can see the construction site, construction trailers. On the south side here, you can see the four windows that have been cut in. These are the Saints windows, the stained glass windows. You can see that we've added cast stone trim around the windows to give it some architectural appeal. These windows are supposed to show up in mid-January. Walking over towards the west, the red heater is one of our temporary heaters, one of three that are in the church right now, providing temporary heat for the construction. We're walking on over along the south side of the church, towards the west, through the construction site. A temporary door here. This will be the new handicapped access door from the handicap parking on the south side of the church. It's a temporary door for now. A lot of work's got to happen here. I'm walking on over to the west side of the church. We're going to walk and be able to see the new building addition. So turning from the construction trailers back towards the northeast, you can see the new building addition. The masonry work is all complete. The masons tore down the scaffolding last week. The area here, the yellow area and the area with the 3M vapor barrier, will be what's called EFIS, which is a styrofoam material that's got a stucco finish on it, much like what is on the narthex. We're going to walk on around the west side of the church towards the north, through the construction area here. As you can see, we have a fair amount of site restoration that'll have to happen when construction is done. Everything's pretty well tore up. So we're on the north side of the church now. You can see the narthex in the background, the entrance to the narthex. Again, the four windows with the stained glass Saints in them are here, another temporary heater. We're gonna walk on around towards the east a little bit here. And you can see on this side, this is where an old entrance was. This is a curtain wall with a glass that doesn't allows light in but doesn't allow glare. There will be no more door in this location as there was in the past. Okay, we're continuing our exterior tour. I'm standing on the roof of the social hall just right by the kitchen right now. I'm looking towards the church and the clearstory. You can see the scaffolding here. There's cast stone around this area. The mason is looking to get that installed in this next week while we have a warm spell. Then the scaffolding will come down. You can see along the sidewall here the plywood and insulation going on. Once this is on, then there's some Tyvek vapor barrier, and then metal panels will go on to be the finished product on that. You can see the clearstory windows along here. There's 8 of them. They are also got an opaque tint to them, so they will allow light in but will not allow glare into the system. And looking up here, you can see up above the cupola windows are all in. We've got some exterior sheathing and stuff to put on, but this week the cross was installed on top of the cupola. Clearstory roof in the cupola area will get metal shingles here probably in the not too distant future. That'll be the final roof for that area. Walking along towards the north, we'll go over to the north side, walking along the roof past the narthex. You can see the rose window here. The rose window should be here, not the stained glass window, but the exterior window should be here also in January, along with the windows downstairs. You can see along here, all of the plywood, sheathing and stuff is in place, ready for the Tyvek, and then the metal panels that go on top of that. Okay, I'm standing in the back of the church at the entrance from the social hall. There's a lot of materials stacked here, so you can't see a lot. To the south, to my left, is our air handler room. The air handler is expected to be delivered here in January. It'll have to be installed in pieces because of access. You see some of the piping going in. Piping throughout the church is pretty well done. We still have piping back in this area to do, as well as piping in the addition. On the north side of the entrance from the church is a family bathroom, as we've talked about before. It is right here. I'll walk into this bathroom. As you can see, a lot of sheetrock is being installed right now. The bathroom will be here on the south wall, or excuse me, on the east wall will be a changing table. For adult size changing table. Walking out of the bathroom back towards the south, we've got the entrance to the narthex, which is in two sections right here and here. This will all be open between the church and narthex when construction is complete, except for a column here in the middle. Walking west towards the church, you can see a lot of the interior framing is done. And if you look on the south side here and on the north side here, a lot of the sheetrock and Durock is in place. The south and north sides of the church will get covered with a stone veneer, and the sheetrock above the windows and stone veneer everywhere else. A lot of progress has been made on sheetrock inside here. All the electrical work, rough-in work is complete behind these walls, as is all the plumbing. Looking towards the back, towards the southeast, is the back wall of the church. And you can see back towards the air handler room, that type of thing. This area here, you can see a little square recessed area. This is for acoustical panels that will be in place along the whole back of the church, everywhere, that are there to help improve the sound quality in the church by reducing reverberation from the sound system back towards the front. If you look up towards the ceiling, you can see a angled bar here going across the ceiling. That's the ceiling elevation. Ductwork and stuff is in place. They're going to start framing the ceiling in the next week or two, and the ceiling gets all sheetrocked as well. And once the framing is in, the lighting will go in, and they'll finish up the fire sprinkler system and that type of thing. So we're walking towards the north. We'll walk over towards the confessional area and the usher's room. So we have a door out to the north with an existing door. You can see the square recesses in the sheetrock for acoustical panels here. So we're walking into this area. On this wall, straight ahead of me, will be a small devotional shrine for silent prayer and that type of thing. To the right, here is an usher's room, much smaller than our old one. There'll be some cabinetry and stuff in here to have the things for the ushers to use. On to the east of that, this is a mother's room. So this will be a place where mothers could come and nurse and that type of thing. It will have a speaker in here so people can hear mass while they're in here, that type of thing. Going over here across the hallway, so it'll be hard to see, but this is the confessional. You'll enter here. The screen will be here. Father will be behind the screen. If you want to do your confession anonymously, you can sit on this side of the screen, or you can walk around the screen and sit down and do a face-to-face confession. You can see some up above, some of the framing going in for the ceiling in this area. So walking out of the confessional area, we're on the north side of the church. Again, you can see the sheetrock and Durock for the stone. I'm going to turn around here looking back. All these old brick columns that were part of the original church will actually be covered with stone as well. So they will not be visible. The only section of the original brick will be available, will be right at the entrance to the church, which I can't get to right now because it's covered up with stuff. So standing kind of in the middle of the church, looking towards the altar, you can see everything has been framed in. Here you can see the the cupola up above. You can see the clearstory windows on the south side here. North side is similar. You can see the white pipe insulation. All the piping is pretty much in place in this area and insulated. The contractor is going to start sheetrocking the cupola next week, I believe. Once the sheetrock goes in the cupola, they'll start on the south side of the church first for ceiling, do the cupola, or do the clearstory, and then do the north side of the church. We're walking up towards the altar now. The altar stage has been totally replaced. They poured the steps and last bit of this on Friday, so everything is pretty well in place. The mason has been here and they have installed on the north and south sides a small cast stone framed area that for the two murals. One will be St. Francis and one will be St. Cecilia. I don't remember which one is which one goes on which side. I'm walking towards the north. This area is where the choir will be. The organ and piano will sit here. Again, this is that where the old exit door used to be. This has a opaque window, so there's still natural light, but no door access. The south side will be done the same way. So you can see the choir area here, and we're going to walk over to the west of the choir area. There's a storage room here. This room will be used for storing the music, the instruments, whatever else the choir needs to store in here. Will be microphones, all that type of stuff. This area is dedicated for choir storage. We're going to walk from the choir area up 3 steps into the new addition. So there's a doorway here that will allow people to come out onto the altar from the back here through a ramp here, so someone in a wheelchair could come up this ramp and go out on the altar and be a lector, or if someday a priest is in a wheelchair, he could have access to the altar as well. Behind this area, this room, which is full of stuff right now, this is the working sacristy. So there'll be cabinets along this whole south wall for storing stuff for mass, vestments, other types of things that they might need for mass. The audiovisual system, the sound system that we have will sit in this corner right here, which is the same one that we replaced a few years ago. We're reusing that. We're using it now for the narthex, and that will be relocated into here. So I'm going to go on south, down the ramp, and to another room here. You can see the conduits going in and stuff. They're getting the conduits roughed in, so they'll be able to start sheetrock in this area soon. This area here is full of ductwork right now, but this is a storage room. It's dedicated for storage. So there'll be shelving and things in here to store different things that the church needs, Christmas decorations, that type of thing. All in this room. So I'm going to go back to the north, up the ramp, and we're going to go upstairs to the mezzanine. So there's a stairway up here that goes up to a mezzanine, which is used for mechanical equipment as well as additional storage. So you can see the mechanical area here. There's 2 air handlers here that will sit over close to the brick wall. These are to serve the sanctuary area only. One will serve the north side, one will serve the south side. The new air handler in the back of the church will only serve the nave, or where the people sit. It will not serve the front part of the church. You can see fire protection piping, hydronic piping going in here. They're starting to put the wall or cover the walls here. There'll be sheetrock up above. Down below will be covered with plywood so we can anchor shelves and things up into this area. We're going to go back downstairs now from the mezzanine. And this area can be shut off. There's a door here to shut this off. And we've done some special things along the wall here to keep noise from those air handlers from getting into the church. So we're walking down the ramp again to the south. And I'm going to go over to the handicap entrance to the church, which is right here. So the handicapped folks can come in to the church and enter the church here and go right to the pews on the south front side of the church. There'll be an area here for people to hang coats if they wanted to. Walking back in towards here, there's an area for some more storage. And then there's also a restroom back here, right here. That's a handicap accessible restroom, so someone can come in here and go to the restroom if they need to. Just going to walk back out to the church. Up onto the altar area. So I'm standing about where the altar will be, and you can see the view here that Father will have as he's doing Mass, the rose window up there, the clearstory, and be able to see obviously all the congregation. And we're looking up to the clearstory, which is directly above the altar, and it will have some stars and stuff, a blue paint scheme with stars stuff up in there, up directly above the altar. That concludes the tour for this time. We'll probably do another video here in about a month. Thank you, and hope you all have a Merry Christmas.